Santa Barbara is a hard town, literally. After 2.5 centuries of development, much of our beautiful city is covered in some sort of not-so-pretty impermeable surface.
The city is approximately 40% covered in impermeable surface, and the reason for that is historically we've used impermeable materials such as asphalt or concrete to cover our public areas like streets and sidewalks and alleyways, parking lots, but also because of the buildings throughout the city, and that's not atypical for an urban hardscape.
Hardscape in and of itself isn't a problem. Asphalt and concrete are great surfaces for conveying many modes of transportation. Unfortunately, they're also good at conveying pollution. Because of their impermeability, oil, metals, bacteria, and other pollutants accumulate on roads, sidewalks, and roofs. When it rains, those pollutants are washed into creeks and carried directly to the ocean. That toxic soup of pollutants is harmful to birds, insects, aquatic life, and potentially humans. But while Santa Barbara may be typical in its impermeability, it's anything but in its approach to addressing its ill effects. For the last 5 years, the City of Santa Barbara Creeks Division has installed innovative permeable paver demonstration projects around town. The idea behind the concept is to let Mother Nature do the work.
With permeable pavers, we'll basically filter all those. Oils are an organic substance. They go down in there and they get broken down by microbes in the soil. Metals get taken up by trees, things like that. Nutrients, obviously, they're good for the plants around here.
To maximize the power of Mother Nature, these so-called low-impact development projects allow stormwater to soak into the ground, mimicking conditions from a long time ago.
If the streets weren't here, it would be soaking back into the groundwater naturally, getting filtrated through that process and providing benefits to the plants and all the animals that it comes in contact with.
After doing permeable paver projects in parking lots, sidewalks, and an alley, the City Creeks Division set its sights higher and chose 2 city blocks of Quarantina Street to show the technology's potential. They chose Quarantina because it has a unique combination of conditions.
Traffic speeds are low, and so permeable pavers are not designed for fast traffic speeds. At least these particular ones aren't. And also, we had a street here that had issues with the asphalt because the tree roots here would get up underneath the asphalt and grow and really uplift it.
Our hope is that by putting in the permeable pavers, we'll provide more water to the roots of the trees down in the soil, and we will save maintenance costs for the city going forward. It's also an area that has a lot of pedestrian traffic as well as vehicle traffic, so we have an opportunity for a lot of people to see the project.
And the benefits don't stop there. With 2 feet of void-filled base beneath it, the Quarantina project is like one huge detention pond that will hold stormwater and let it gradually seep into the drought-depleted groundwater basin.
The pavers installed along the 2 blocks of Quarantina Street not only capture what falls on them, but they capture runoff from some of the neighboring properties and roadways. We're designed to be able to handle well over a 1-inch rainstorm every 24 hours before the basins underneath the pavers would fill up and overflow. When they do overflow, it just defaults to the historical drainage before the project, which means the water would run along the curb and into a normal storm drain system. But the 1-inch storm allows us to capture all of the water in 85% of the storms that come to Santa Barbara.
And that water gets into the groundwater table. It's available for trees and plants around here, and excess water moves through the groundwater table and then replenishes creek water during dry times, and then also can contribute to groundwater in the drinking water if it's placed in certain areas in the city.
And City Creeks Division staff hopes those certain areas of the city may include your driveway or patio.
We installed these as a demonstration on how you can do this to hopefully encourage people to do this on their own and also encourage other city departments and the city as a whole to do this as a stormwater treatment practice.
While permeable pavers have higher upfront costs than asphalt, they more than make up for it in the long run.
On a typical asphalt street, I think it's every 6 years, the city comes through and slurry seals that street to maintain it. And so that's just an extra coating of asphalt on top. Permeable pavers, once they're put down, they don't need any other coating or extra seals or anything like that. And they're expected to last 60, 80 plus years. And additionally with asphalt, every about 25 or 30 years, it has to be ground down and then re-asphalted altogether, and then possibly new base added and things like that. The life of the pavers, you would go through at least 2 cycles of that with asphalt.
Another benefit to consider with the maintenance is utility maintenance underneath the pavers. So when the city needs to go in and maintain utilities under the roadway, the crews can pull the pavers out and take the gravel out that's underneath them, do the utility maintenance, and then use those same materials and put them right back in place.
The $1.4 million project was completed ahead of schedule and under budget, with 80% of the costs being paid for by grants. And this is where the benefits of voters passing Measure B back in 2000 come into play.
It's a significant benefit not only for the matching funds that we need for the grants, but also our ability to maintain projects so that when grant managers come to look at our projects, they're always well maintained, and we're able to do that because we have that steady stream of revenue.
Permeable pavers may not be appropriate for every street or sidewalk, but by providing attractive, effective, real-world examples like the Quarantina Street project, the City Creeks Division hopes more people will realize the power of permeability.
It would be a good thing if we could capture all of the urban runoff from our streets and sidewalks and alleyways and treat that before it gets into the creeks and into the ocean. It's very, very difficult to do that at the end of the street. If we can do it through permeable pavers or permeable surface in the roadways and capture and treat it right on site, that's our best approach.
This is an opportunity for us to look at stormwater as a resource as opposed to a waste stream.